I start this video, I just want to state these are all of my own opinion. Sometimes I'll rank a movie higher simply because I like it, and sometimes it'll be that, plus a deeper analysis of why. Everyone is subject to their own opinion, and I might trigger some Disney Pixar nerds out there, so don't take my opinion as I think this is truth. I know it's just my opinion. It's just what I happen to like. And hope you have a good day and enjoy the video. Okay, so I'm going to go through the first 10 of these and I'm going to list reasons why, but I don't want to make this video too long, so I might just say the titles of a movie after I get past the first 10, and then once I get to like the bottom 3, I'll explain why those are on the very bottom. But yeah, I'm probably just going to say the reasons why for the first 10 and then skim through the rest of them until I get to the bottom 3. So, number 1 on the list, in my humble opinion, it's the best Pixar film is Ratatouille. It has a great message, and at the end, this is different from what it is at the beginning. At the end, it's further analyzed that not everyone can be a great artist, and put artist in parentheses, like it could be a type of artist. Not everyone can be a great artist, but a great artist can come from anywhere. And I just really like that theme, that message. The it's a cinematic masterpiece. Like, I love the scenes in it. It's beautiful, and it has an amazing soundtrack. It's just amazing all around. Next, number 2 is WALL-E. It is the perfect example of a story that doesn't need many words to convey the story, to convey what it's about, to help you connect with the characters. The main characters, Wally and Eve, do not talk in the movie, and yet we connect with them so well. It's just a perfect example of great storytelling that way. Um, the music they picked for the soundtrack is also amazing. It's just amazing. I can't stress that enough. I just love that so much. Also a cinematic masterpiece, and I would dare say it's more of a cinematic masterpiece than Ratatouille. I just have to put Ratatouille at top. But yeah, WALL-E is a really close second. Coco, cinematic masterpiece as well. The scenery in Coco, the scenes, they're beautiful, okay? The colors, the usage of color in Coco, it's phenomenal. It's the perfect blend between goofy and beautiful, and what I mean by goofy is like, well, a lot of them, they're skeletons in the movie. They can like, it's kind of like a cartoon. They can exaggerate their features and like take themselves apart and put them back together. That's what I mean by goofy. There's so much like body language, even more than a normal human, because they're able to do things humans aren't because they're skeletons. And in a cartoon sense, like those limbs can come off and be further exaggerated. So that's what I mean between the perfect blend between goofy and beautiful. It has great music, and it's like the only Pixar movie that can be considered like a full on musical. Because there's music in Pixar movies, obviously, and some of them have words, very few. But this is like the first full one where there's like multiple songs where even the characters sing and it's not just playing in the background. It's a really unique Pixar movie in that way. Toy Story 2. This was hard for me to decide like if I should put the first or second one here. Because for my top 10, I didn't want to like have a bunch of them be the Toy Story movies, so I just wanted to pick one to spotlight for the top 10. And I had to go with Toy Story 2. The Toy Story, the first one, it was really close to taking this spot. But it has a great villain story and a great twist villain, like something I didn't see coming as a kid. I don't think anyone saw coming, but it also makes sense. And another amazing song is Jessie's song in this movie. She doesn't like the actress doesn't sing it, but it's clearly coming from Jessie's perspective. Number 5, Up. Yes, Up. I love this movie so much. It has an amazing soundtrack as well. and like instrumental too, but like great montages with the music as well. And it fits perfectly with the theme and the movie in general. It's a sweet story, very heartwarming and touching. Number six, Inside Out. This honestly used to be my number two for a long time, and it's very nostalgic to me because if you've seen my orchestra video, you would know. We watched this a lot when one of the teachers were gone. We'd combine classes, and 9 times out of 10, it would be this movie. It's great as sort of a coming of age movie. It's not fully coming of age because she's only turns like I think 12, right? Um, obviously she still has a lot of growing up to do, but in a way, this is like coming of age. Like she's moving and like starting basically a whole new life. And she like there's it's just complicated emotions all around, you know. It tends to be like it tends to lean more goofy than sad, at least from what I remember. Like that's the impression it leaves on me, is more goofy than sad. But it has those sweet spots in there, and also nothing's wrong with a little bit of silliness as well. So it's a solid six on this list. Number seven, Monsters Inc. And like I wish I could put this higher on the list. I definitely wanted it to make the top 10. But yes, I really love this movie. Um it's really entertaining, the dynamic of Mike and Sully taking care of this like human child, trying like Mike wants to get it back, but Sully has this soft spot, and it just works so well for the plot and stuff. Number eight, a classic superhero story with a twist, The Incredibles. I just love that a lot because I don't know if anything, there's probably been something that's been done before that, but I don't know anything, so it's a twist on the superhero idea that instead of one superhero or like a team that are unrelated, it's like, oh, it's a family. Because in a superhero world, I mean, what if there was a way, like, what if superpowers could get passed down, or the ability to have a superpower? My favorite Pixar villain is in this movie. My favorite Pixar villain is Syndrome. Yes. And I feel like sometimes when I hear I've heard people say Syndrome wasn't that great a villain. I think he was great. I think his backstory was very unique and twisted in an interesting way. I think it was a good villain origin story. Fun fact about The Incredibles, it was going to be animated in the style of The Iron Giant, if Pixar hadn't had that idea, because Pixar is like does 3D animations, right? And the Iron Giant utilizes 3D effects, but it's 2D, and that would have been cool to see. So yeah, it was gonna be animated as like a 2D film with 3D effects if it wasn't made by Pixar or something. Number nine, Finding Nemo. And this is a beautiful story about a father's care and love for his son, basically. And the son, he just wants to go out and do stuff, and the father is like overprotective because, he lost his other children and his wife. Also has a mesmerizing soundtrack. Solid nine. Now, this one might be a bit controversial because I know a lot of people they love the earlier Pixar films a lot, but I just had to put this one here. I think the best newest Pixar movie is Luca. And it's basically kind of a little bit, not exactly, but a little bit of Pixar's version of The Little Mermaid. But if she were a preteen boy and actually a sea monster instead of a mermaid. But I love like the Italian um theme of it, and like they set it in Italy or whatever. There's interesting and fun character dynamics between like the three main characters, the three main kids, and their their personalities contrast and mesh so well together, and it meshes so well and nicely with the story. That's why it's a solid 10 on this Pixar list. Now I'm just gonna go through the rest of them, just naming them because I feel like this video is already too long, and I'll explain the last three. So number 11 is Toy Story. Number 12, Bug's Life. Number 13, Brave. Number 14, Finding Dory. Number 15, Toy Story 3. Number 16, Onward. Number 17, Cars. Number 18, Monsters University. Number 19, Toy Story 4. Number 20, Incredibles 2. Number 21, Cars 3. Number 22, Turning Red. Number 23, The Good Dinosaur. Now on to what a lot of people will probably be mad about. Now, just because these are at the bottom of the list, I have to remind some people maybe, um, just because they're at the bottom of the list doesn't necessarily mean they're bad. And again, this is just my opinion. And also, I just have to preface that I haven't seen that like newest one that is basically like Cool Mass, like Fireboy and Water Girl, but flipped. I haven't seen that one yet, but I will probably, if there's demand for it, update my Pixar list, watch all the movies like before I redo this whole list and like gain a new perspective, maybe. Like I'll watch all of them. I'll watch that one. Um, the Fire Girl and Water Boy. I'll watch that and I'll redo this list if there's demand for it. But back on track, these last three, it doesn't mean they're bad. It just means they weren't my favorite or my cup of tea. That was a bad British accent. Usually I'm better than that. Don't judge me. You can judge my list, but don't judge me, okay? Uh I won't judge you for what you like, and you don't have to judge me for what I like and maybe not like as much. Again, this doesn't mean I don't like these. It means I like them the least out of the higher ones out of this list. So, number 24, Soul. And this isn't a bad movie, don't get me wrong. I don't remember too much about it, and for a recent movie that doesn't look too good, I was excited about it when it came out, but sadly it just didn't hold up like the rest to me. But number 25 is Cars 2. And again, this one, I can't really say like a very logical reason for this to be at the bottom. I know actually this is probably one most people would agree with because I know people say Cars 2 is like the worst Pixar movie. At least they used to. I don't know if they still do. Um, I actually don't remember much about it, so I put it at the bottom for that reason. I do like the Cars movies, but for me, I was just much more a fan of other Pixar franchises. But Cars movies, they're still fine. Like I'm fine with Cars, you know. And the last one on the list, which I feel like is very justified. I feel like a lot of people might actually agree with this one too. Maybe. The last one on the list, number 26, is Lightyear. It just doesn't hold up. It was a severe letdown, I would say. And it just pulls the weirdest and dumbest plot twist of all time. I I just had to put it at the bottom of the list. It like they tried to make it all cinematic and cool, but we all know that cinematics don't make a good story. It could certainly help, but you have it looking like something that it's not. It's not a cool story. It just, looks cool. It looks like a modern, like superhero movie, except he's in space. That it just totally flopped. Sorry. I just that's my opinion. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you all have a good day or night or whatever, and see you next time.